Someone wearing a combat shoes robbed the house and unfortunately, he left a footprint near the door of the house and that leaks to his identity.
Foot impression analysis or MOULAGE in crime scene investigation. A foot impression left at a crime scene can provide a valuable evidence in identifying the suspect and understanding their walking characteristics. Footwear impression can reveal the unique features of shoe sole, such as distinct patterns, wear of patterns, rip-off marks, and cuts. By comparing these characteristics with the MOULAGE from the foot impression left in the crime scene and the shoe of the suspect, we can connect the evidence and solve the crime. Foot impressions are like a signature left behind by the suspect. They can provide a crucial information about the suspect's walking style, shoe size, and even their gender. The size and shape of the foot impression can help us narrow down the pool of potential suspects. The walking characteristics exhibited in a foot impression can be quite revealing. Factors such as the pressure distribution, stride length, and gait pattern can indicate the suspect's walking speed, posture, and body weight. By studying these characteristics, we can create a profile of the suspect's walking style. To determine the connection between the foot impression and the suspect, we create a MOULAGE, a three-dimensional replica of the suspect's shoe sole. The MOULAGE captures the unique features of the shoe, including spikes, distinct patterns, wear-off patterns, rip-off marks, and cuts. Through meticulous examination, we compare the characteristic of the foot impression with the MOULAGE. The presence of the specific features, such as matching the spike patterns, distinct wear-off patterns, or unique rip-off marks can help establish a link between suspect's shoes and the crime scene. By connecting the foot impression to the suspect's shoe and analyzing the walking characteristics, we can establish a strong link between the suspect and the crime scene. This evidence can be presented in court to support the identification of the suspect and their involvement in the crime.
In our investigation, we have determined that the suspect who left this foot impression is likely an ROTC officer, cadet, or cadet. By observing and examining the unique characteristics of the foot impression, we have identified a spike pattern that is commonly associated with combat boots worn by ROTC personnel. One of the key characteristics we observe in this foot impression is the presence of distinct spike patterns. Combat shoes commonly worn by ROTC officer, cadets, or cadets often feature spikes on the sole. These spikes provide traction and stability during military training exercises. Based on the presence of the spike pattern in the foot impression, we have determined that the suspect is likely an ROTC officer. This evidence provides valuable insight into the characteristics and background of the suspect. By focusing our investigation on the specific group, we can narrow down our search and bring us closer to solving of the crime. Now we need to determine and compare the known and unknown during our investigation. We have the unknown, our impressions are called MOULAGE, and this is the unknown. And we have the known, the picture of the combat shoes. And in our MOULAGE, our foot impression analysis, we have determined cut and wear, and determined the length and width. In our investigation, we have determined the length and width. The length is about 28.5 centimeters. And the width, it has three characteristics or three identification. The upper sole, mid sole, and the lower sole. Here in upper sole, the width is about 10 centimeters. In the mid sole or middle sole, the width is 9 centimeters. And in the lower sole, the width is 7.5 centimeters. So let's discuss what is the cut and wear we've found. First, in the upper part sole of the combat shoes, we found a small cut on the edge of the sole. This indicates that the combat shoes, or our known and our unknown, has the same distinct patterns. Another is the wear. In this part of the sole of the combat shoes, we can observe the wear pattern. So the patterns in the combat shoes is seen in this part, but in this part is seemingly unknown. Seemingly unseen or semi-seen lang. In this third, we discovered it has something cracked in the combat shoes. And in the moulage, or in our foot impression analysis, we found, or we have the same patterns. The crack is from here to this edge. It is edge to edge of the sole of the combat shoes. The next is in the other edge, or in the right side of the sole of the combat shoes. It has a cut in this side, which seems to be like a pyramid or like a triangle. Next is in this side. In this part of the sole of the combat shoes, we observe that one spike is missing, the same with our known picture. So we can determine, in that part, we can determine that this known can be the original form of original shoes who left the impression in the crime scene. Next, in this lower part of the combat shoes, we have this part. It seems the cut in this part the same with the first part. It forms like a pyramid or like a triangle. And in the middle part, we have seen or observed also a missing part, another missing part of the spike of the combat shoes. And this part, the same with the two earlier, it has also the same cut, like a pyramid or something like a triangle. And for the last cut pattern or distinct pattern, it has the 1/4 part of this spike is cut going to the edge of the combat shoes. So in that, we can conclude that this unknown or our moulage, we can conclude that these combat shoes or our is the original shoes who left the pattern in the crime scene. So that's the analysis of our foot impression.
We have spray bottle, maple varnish,
white cement, combat shoes, sticks and bucket, screen, shoe box. Step 1. Make an impression using combat shoes. Step 2. Using two rulers, measure its length and width. The length is 28.5 centimeters. And the width has 3 classifications: the upper sole, middle sole, and lower sole. In the upper sole, the width is 10 centimeters. In the middle sole, the width is 8 centimeters. And in the lower sole, the width is 7.5 centimeters. Step 3. Transfer the maple varnish into the spray bottle. Step 4. Spray the maple varnish to the impression. Step 5. Put the shoe box. Step 6. Cut the tip of white cement using scissors. Then transfer it to the bucket. Step 7. Add 250 milliliters of water, then use stick in mixing it, and mix them thoroughly until you came up with this mixture. Step 8. Put now the white cement into the impression, and plane it using a flat glass. Step 9. Put the screen on top of the first coat. It serves as the foundation of our moulage. Step 10. Let's add now our second coat. Again, plane it using flat glass. Then let it dry for about 10 hours.